I have time today. Let's go. What is this? Okay. I don't know what that is. I'm over here trying to get that thing from the side out. Hello, please hit the like button. We 2 minutes in. I finally have some time for myself. I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm on some new meds and I can't take my nap like I normally can. You know what I mean? I am just sleepless. I go to sleep late. Yesterday I woke up. Um, I went to sleep pretty early than normally. You know, the normal. So maybe my energy wasn't there because I didn't have the right medicine. And now that I'm receiving it, I feel like it's helping me just stay active in the morning. Yeah. So you read my title, and it pretty much not entails, but it just asks the question that are you really paying attention on what's going on around us in America, the U.S., whatever you want to call it. I have been around. I've been, again, in the bushes. I didn't specify whose bushes I be on. But lately, I have been watching a few content creators that I used to watch on pretty much on the news channel. It kind of give me the truth on what's going on with our government. And, sometimes I have to tap out because it becomes overwhelming. I don't want to get discouraged. Hold on. I don't want to get discouraged and stop living life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this whole Epstein thing, the voting. Since this new administration came into office, I don't know about anybody else, but I have been seeing and feeling a lot of confusion that's coming from that administration. A lot of underhand stuff that we are allowed to see through these content creators that are now on YouTube that can speak on what the news ain't speaking on, because we already know this man has these news anchors shook. And I'm seeing a lot of things unfold, but I thank God that He's keeping me. He's keeping me grounded, and He's giving me the strength just to pretty much just go through it. Meaning, don't let the situation that I am seeing affect me or distract me from anything that I'm doing that's going to please Him. And that's real talk. There's a lot, and that's why I constantly stress about, us going back and forth, and, is it worth it? Are we not putting our attention on what's going on around us to prepare us and our family, to prepare our souls for the just in case? You see everything going haywire. The weather is not how it used to be. is getting worse. Tsunami threat on the West Coast, and an earthquake in Russia. Like, how many signs do we have to see? Oh, let me not exclude the people in Gaza that's starving. Is anybody mentioning that other than these newscasters that's coming on YouTube with their own channel? What I'm seeing, nobody's paying attention. Let me not say nobody. There's some people paying attention, but there's a lot of people that's distracted because they just choose not to pay attention. Worried about who's saying what. And let me just say this as a person that used to take offense, and I still sometimes do because I'm not too far removed. I forgot what I was gonna say. Lord have mercy. I don't know. But yeah, the bickering and all that stuff that's happening, not only just on YouTube, I see it on Facebook. I see it on Instagram. It's not, just ordinary people sometimes. It'll be people in the industry. Whatever industry, is just so much. Like, we got so much that's going on that everybody is losing focus. And I'm afraid that, God forbid, if something happens, a lot of you gonna be caught up. Gonna be caught up not knowing what's what because you choose not to pay attention to the right stuff. Me personally, I'm not gonna say I'm on a fixed income, but I'm pretty much am receiving my retirement and disability. And I thank God for that, but it's still under threat. So that was part of my worry, like, dag, how I'm going to pull my weight, and I'm not used to not partaking in paying bills. I got bills too. Although I got a man, I accumulated some bills too. So it's very hard. So I've been trying to not focus too much on it, but also giving myself some time to pretty much get at least a little bit of news on what's going on. But anyway, how's everybody? Where's everybody at? I don't be coming on and people really don't be paying attention to me. I guess I ain't got nothing to say, but I have a lot. Life is short. We really have to get all our ducks in order. And never mind this worldly stuff that we have to take care of on a daily basis. But we really have to get our shit in order. I hate this curse, but I feel like when I say that, I stress it. We have to get it done. It's going to come to a point as a matter of life and death. Like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to see yourself after this life? Who do you want to rock with? Who you really want to serve? Because God is a jealous God, and you can't serve two gods. You can't be lukewarm. That's what it was told to me. You either hear and want to get it right, or you just want to continue in your confusion. Either way, you have to make a decision. And at this point in my YouTube experience, I don't like what I'm seeing, and a lot of what I have displayed to myself encouraged me to change because it doesn't feel good. Even though people do pluck your damn last nerve, people will take the worst out of you, not the best, the worst out of you, especially when you're constantly being provoked. But yeah, I just want to come on and my prayers is to the people on the West Coast that has gotten that warning. Washington State, Hawaii, even the people in Russia, because at the end of the day, God loves those people too. We're one in his eyes, so we got to get out of our own way and learn how to pray for others, even if you don't care for them. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of cleaning, spring, fall cleaning, whatever you want to call it, with my channel. And there's some things that I cannot connect myself to anymore because I'm finding it triggering, very triggering. It sets me back, and I can't keep making excuses on supporting people if they're not serving any purpose in my life. And I'm not saying that in a mean way, but I want to get in so I can live again and again and again. And I want anyone that's connected to me to get in too. So I have to get my ducks in order. Well, continue to get my ducks in order and continue to encourage. Even if it's one person just listening. Even if it's nobody. Eventually, whoever is meant for, whoever that's gonna is gonna benefit from what I say is the ones that's supposed to. I will not get discouraged. I will not. For me, everybody else is about numbers, and I kind of am too, but not the way others, you know. For the ones that are getting paid and making an extra stream of income, you know, everybody got their own reason why they started their channel. Mine personally was always to encourage others, to share my journey of healing, and to also show you the growth so far. And I have to give myself a pat in the back because it was one time I couldn't just shut up. It was one time that I couldn't even refrain from striking someone. It was always on sight. It was always no talking, less talking, more fighting. And that really didn't get me nowhere. You know, it really didn't get what I felt of whatever offense at the time. It was just straight, you know, hands. And I don't want to be like that. Or I used to attack with my mouth. Talk hell of stuff. And a lot of me has just, when I even see myself doing it, I feel so convicted. It's not even funny. But yeah, all this stuff that's going on, pay attention, guys. Something is happening, and we are witnessing it. And just pretty much stay focused and pay attention to what's going on around you. The other stuff you allow God to fix, let him fight it. Because right now what the enemy is doing is causing so much distraction where people is not paying attention to what's going on. And I don't want nobody caught slipping. I'm glad that I stopped engaging in negativity. And I kind of like just went a different route with my content. Well, my content was never rowdy. But just, you know, the things I put on here and, you know, and the things that I engage in, you know. But anyway, it is Wednesday already. I feel like I was just in Wednesday. And this weekend, I'm going to spend time just resting. Resting and paying some bills because, you know, the first of the month is there. No, I don't get public assistance. No, I don't. And if I did, so what? But there's things that I got to do. I got to I get a new washer this weekend. So I am gonna wash clothes. Um, and also call this carpet cleaning place to see if we can set up a time and so they could come and clean my carpets in my room. It's overdue. My hallway and them stairs and I got like a couple of rooms that I'm getting a discount in, so I'm gonna be doing that and getting my carpets cleaned. Um, my renewal of my lease is up, so I seen the set price, which is I'm not gonna complain. It's still it's high as shit, but I could afford it, and I have help, and that's good. So I'm dealing with that. I finally made a cardiologist appointment to figure out, what meds I can take that's gonna help my blood pressure to get stable. And also, I just wanted to share that I am on a health journey because I got scared. Yes, and I'm hard-headed. I'm a big procrastinator, so whichever way God needs to grab my attention, he got it. And I will follow through. I gave up soda last Wednesday. So it's about 6 days in of no soda, no sugary drinks. I do still get 2 tablespoons of sugar in my coffee. I'm afraid to tell you how much my man used to put in there, and I think it was his fault why my levels was the way it was. No, it's my responsibility, because I knew better. I knew, so I can't, be blaming him. So he's pretty much said he's been just putting my powder creamer, and the regular other creamer, the cold one, and that gives me, it takes the taste away from the actual coffee. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of myself. I don't know how I let myself go. Food is an addiction, and especially when what I do on a daily basis is nothing changes. It's the same routine. The only thing that changes is if I gotta go food shopping or stuff like that. It's no set day because I'm always in the supermarket picking up something. So yes, hopefully I feel like this time around with me giving up the soda and actually applying the footwork with my eating habits and stuff like that. I got to be real careful, or I'm gonna end up developing diabetes for real. I feel like God allowed the level of my blood to be off because he knew if he didn't get my attention now, that eventually something drastic, catastrophic would have happened to me. And then I'll be leaving behind my children and my grandchildren and people that love me so much for me not doing what I need to do for myself, and also being hard-headed knowing the stuff that I was eating was no good for me. It is never too late to start. Yes, I'm 51, and I ain't asking to be with a six-pack. But I know with this damn 9 months baby in front of me, I don't want to look. I want to see my knees. I want to see my cat that she's been missing for a minute. I just want to be healthy. But healthy mentally, spiritually, and physically. That's what I'm aiming for. I really don't care too much of what people think of me anymore, because if you don't take the time to get to know me for inward, then you're gonna always voice an opinion about Maritza. And I'm really a dope ass person. I'm a dope ass friend. I will never encourage you to do bad. I'm gonna always give you words of encouragement. I don't care who you are. Hey, Jules. Girl, you are so funny. I was looking at one of your shorts. Was it on Facebook? And I was hollering. And I'm not poking fun of Section 8 because everybody needs help. You know what I'm saying? But you was on the money for the ones that were making it a life business that were that are able-bodied. I've witnessed a couple of people in my lifetime that just don't want to freaking work. And here I am, here at that time working 8 to 12 hour shift at the post office while they lay on their ass in the projects. I was paying regular rent. It was never, well, it was. I got breaks. I was on DSS welfare before, but this is when I had started having kids. And really, excuse me, my second child was born at 7 months. My ass ended up getting blessed working as a career full-time mail processor. So that gave me my money to pay my bills, rent, food. They cut me off, and I was good with it because, like, who doesn't want to go out and earn their money? It, to me, like now that I can't work because of medical reasons, for what, I'm grateful that I lasted that long at the post office. It ain't for the weak. It's a lot of work. I worked the graveyard shift, and honey, it is what it is when it comes to that. I lost sleep because I had young boys. That end up getting pregnant, so I had to, my kids, all they seen was their mother going out there hustling to make sure that they had the best birthdays, best Christmas. Well, they're not boys anymore, they're men, of course. My young men would tell you that I used to be at their school half asleep but was present, just for them, just so that they could see and be motivated too, because our kids, whether we like it or not, they watch us. Me too. I don't down anyone for being on public assistance. I got my feet, and I let it go for someone needing it more. Yes, absolutely. And ain't nothing wrong for getting help. You know what I'm saying? But these things that are put in place is not meant as a career. If you feel what I'm saying. Now, again, I'm not judging, because at one time I was getting stamps, and to be honest, I wish I was still getting it, but my income is not going to allow it because I bring home too much money, which I'm fine with it. It allows me to still, coupon and be fruitful with my money. But I've seen a lot, and it made it worse for the people that really needed the help. So although I was put in adulthood so early, the motherfuckers didn't even wait for 30 days. They cut me off, which was great. It was hard in the beginning, but again, I had help, always had help and support from my parents. I've been with my man for so damn long. We made it do what it do. Just like our parents went out there and hustled, we made sure our kids never wanted for nothing. But to actually feel independent and not having to worry, and I'm speaking as now because I'm no longer in housing. I ain't never think I would survive out there. I thought I would always would need low income housing just to keep my rent at a standstill. But what I didn't realize then, that it was hindering me from growing so that I can get out and be independent. You know how good that feels? I would love to receive food stamps, but I don't quite. Me either, Jules. It freaking sucks because we be needing out. We're not paying little rent. If you working, I don't give a fuck where you at. We paying that rent based on our income. But girl, it helped. It served its purpose. And when I first was redeemed disabled, I was receiving workman's comp, but just imagine how I felt when they cut me off and I had no income. But my man paying, and I lived in New York at that time, so my electric was with heat, and that was like $500. And I'm talking about way back in 2018. I'm gonna go as far as that. My rent was $1,200 at the time, and back then it was a lot. You got the electric and heat. Then I had the pet rent. You know what I'm saying? Then raising 3 boys, making sure they had the necessary stuff that they need for school and stuff like that. That ain't cheap. And when things got cut off, I had to go back and ask for help, so that way we could as a family could stay afloat. You know what I mean? And I was so hurt that I had to do that. But here's the thing, like the casework at that time said, you work, you put in. So a worst case scenario, you come out with a lump sum from Social Security. The most we'll do is take our money back. And at that time, I'm like, well, I'm supposed to get some money. So I would rather put back into it than to feel like I done took. You know what I mean? I felt like I was failing my kids to go backwards, but part of my pride didn't want to do it. I would have struggled, but God was like, if you need the help, it's here. But now with these people in office, they're not even allowing you to get the breaks that we had as young mothers. You know what I mean? They done made it worse for the people that actually needs the help. Like, I'm pretty sure where you at, you see the homeless. They need help. The seniors. And it's just crazy. Now they're putting the cap in Section 8. I'm glad I went out on my own. I'm glad that I have experience paying my rent without assistance and on time, and not no cheap rent. My rent is over $2,000 off the rip, and it's okay because in New York, for the space that I have, it would have been 5 bands. So 2 bands ain't nothing. God ain't gonna leave me nor forsake me. If He's allowing me to pay this high ass rent for almost 8 years, He's gonna do it for another 8 years, no matter who's in office. But my prayers is to the ones that are able-bodied, that they do the necessary steps. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have it where they're not gonna totally cut you off, but they definitely gonna have you out there searching for work so that you can get off. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because a lot of people became very lazy to go get a job, and there ain't nothing wrong with them. But thanks, Jules. I was gonna hang up anyway because I gotta go pick up my man. I just parked over here in the parking lot so I could smoke my cigarette and then go whip to his job and pretty much get his ass home. It's folks on public housing paying full rent. That's why I gave it up. I'm not gonna gather up my personal information every year and be controlled over. Yeah, girl, the closer I got to move, the more and more the motherfuckers was prying. They want to know what you spend your money on, how much is the haircut. I was like, I'm not signing this mess. And it was towards the end of packing and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, y'all want to know everything. You want to know how many times a man is poking me? Like, it just feels good to feel independent and being out of housing because I feel like I done accomplished something. You know what I'm saying? I made it out. I was the last Mohegan in the projects. And I had transferred to the worst freaking projects and then went to a townhome. So I feel like God was preparing me then. I was already working. And then once everything started to change in New York with the housing that everybody had to have Section 8 or pay base rent, I had the opportunity to move and they paid me to fucking move. So, see how God works? He forced me out. Yeah, girl, it's too much. I took it for a little while because I was just still starting the post office. And again, I had to learn how to be fruitful with my money. And I really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I was spin, spin, spin. I was broke the same day I got paid. Bills, bills and weed. No, I'm just kidding. It's the truth. It's the bills. The bills wasn't stopping. And then I got sick, so eliminate that for real. And what you gonna do? What? And I'm not saying you, Jules, just in general. What are you gonna do? You didn't have to. You didn't even step out in the real world and got your foot wet because you want to sit back and rely on the government. Now the government is telling you that we can't pay your shit no more. You got to get up there and work. If you're not disabled, if your ass is not old enough, then you're gonna be the next one in the street. So y'all better pay attention to what's going on, because I know I am. And if I have to go out there and work, I have to force myself to go out there and work, I will go out there and work. Bills never stop. But anyway, I gotta go because my man gets off in like 2 minutes. And he likes to talk. So, I gotta sit there and be who I am in his life and gossip with him about work. But I love y'all. Please be careful out there, even on these YouTube streets. I was not a firm believer. I was always the one to always have the last say. I just couldn't let nobody just get the last say. And it used to get me in a whole bunch of shit and a whole bunch of confusion. And that's too much energy being wasted. I'd rather just walk away and let you talk. Doesn't mean don't sleep on me and say, oh, she's a punk. I ain't a punk. I'm just being wise. I'm picking and choosing my battles. And there's some things that I'm not going to go back and forth. If you're not feeding me, if you're not paying my bills, if you're not fucking me, I don't have no fight in me. I don't. I don't want to argue with no one. I don't care who don't like me. I'm to that point. I support who I support. I may not agree on everything that they do, but I'm a person that supports. God gave me grace. I'm gonna give people grace too. You got 2 times to screw me and I'm gone. But I don't even surround myself with people like that. The people that I am connected to on this YouTube are people that come out and they talk about something or just want to enjoy life. Life is too damn serious for us to be going back and forth with people that we don't know. And I definitely am never the one to take someone's orders. I support people. Sometimes I pop in, but for the most part, because I'm still dealing with myself, I catch the replays and make sure that I run my view in. Best to believe that if you got a like button on, hit on it. If you got 2,500, one of them 2,500 was my ass. I did hit that button. But anyway, stay focused. Continue to pick and choose your battles. Not everything we need to respond to. And be real picky, because you know what? When we go back and forth with people, that's our time being taken away. We could be doing other stuff, like me smoking some weed. And since you right there, Jules, you getting some crabs, right? And having that good old time. That's taken away from us. It's not adding nothing. So be mindful. I know it's hard. Sometimes you got to speak your stuff. But just be picky on who you going to, do what you do, But anyway, I love you. Love you with the heart of God. Continue to stay motivated. Continue to pick and choose. Continue to be inspired. Continue to inspire. Continue being you and standing 10 toes on principle. Okay? I love y'all. Thank you for taking the time to hit the like button and for coming in and seeing about a panda. So God bless you and have a wonderful evening.